Jack Bogle, born in 1929 and passing away in 2019, was a big name in finance. He started the Vanguard Group, a famous investment company, and changed the way people invest by making index funds popular. Instead of trying to pick winning stocks, Bogle liked the idea of index funds. These funds follow a whole market index, like the S&P 500, and they don't try to beat the market. They're cheap and give you a lot of different investments all at once. Bogle was all about thinking long-term when it came to investing. He said it's better to hold on to your investments for a long time and let them grow slowly. This was different from people who wanted quick money from the stock market. One big thing Bogle pushed for was lowering the fees investors had to pay. He knew that high fees eat into your profits, so he wanted to make investing as cheap as possible for everyone. John Bogle was born on May 8, 1929, in Montclair, New Jersey, to William Yates Bogle Jr. and Josephine Lorraine Hipkins. His family faced hardships during the Great Depression, losing their money and home, which led to his parents' divorce. Bogle and his twin brother, David, attended Manasquan High School in New Jersey initially, but later transferred to Blair Academy on work scholarships. At Blair Academy, Bogle excelled in mathematics and developed a fascination for numbers and computations. In 1947, he graduated cum laude from Blair Academy. Following his success at Blair Academy, Bogle was accepted into Princeton University, where he pursued studies in economics and investment. During his time at Princeton, Bogle delved into researching the mutual fund industry, culminating in his thesis titled The Economic Role of the Investment Company. In 1951, Bogle graduated magna cum laude from Princeton University. Shortly after, he was hired by Walter L. Morgan, the founder of the Wellington Fund. Morgan reportedly offered Bogle a job after reading his 130-page thesis paper, recognizing his potential and expertise in the field of investment. After graduating from Princeton, John Bogle aimed for a career in banking or investments. His opportunity came when he was hired by Walter L. Morgan at the Wellington Fund. Bogle quickly rose through the ranks, becoming assistant manager in 1955. He proposed a new fund strategy to Wellington's, which eventually succeeded, marking a turning point in his career. In 1970, Bogle replaced Morgan as chairman of Wellington's mutual funds. However, he was later fired for approving a merger that turned out to be a costly mistake. This setback led Bogle to reflect on his decisions and spurred his motivation to create an index fund, as the terms of the merger prevented him from directly managing money for clients. In 1974, Bogle founded the Vanguard Group, a pivotal moment in his career. Despite initial challenges, Vanguard grew to become one of the most respected and successful investment companies in the world. Bogle's vision for low-cost, passive investing revolutionized the industry and earned him widespread recognition. In 1999, Fortune magazine honored Bogle as one of the 4 investment giants of the 20th century, cementing his legacy as a pioneer in the field of finance. In 1976, John Bogle created the first index investment trust, which later became the Vanguard 500 Index Fund. This was one of the earliest index mutual funds available to everyone. At first, people in the investment industry weren't too excited about it, but now it's highly praised, even by big investors like Warren Buffett. In 1984, Bogle teamed up with the Prime Cap management team to start another fund. This led to the launch of the Vanguard Prime Cap Fund in November 1984. This move helped Vanguard grow and become even more respected in the investment world. During the 1990s, Bogle had some heart problems. Because of this, he had to step down from his role as CEO of Vanguard in 1996. He chose John J. Brennan as his successor. Despite his health issues, Bogle had a successful heart transplant that same year. After leaving Vanguard in 1999 due to disagreements with Brennan, Bogle started the Bogle Financial Markets Research Center. It's a small research institute, not directly connected to Vanguard, but it's located on the Vanguard campus. Even though he wasn't at Vanguard anymore, Bogle's ideas continued to influence the investment world. Passive investing, where you put your money in a fund that tracks the entire stock market, started gaining traction in the 1960s. Researchers at the University of Chicago were among the first to realize that consistently picking winning stocks was really hard. They also pointed out that the fees and costs of managing investments were eating into people's long-term returns. In 1973, Rex Sinkfield set up the first index fund that regular people could invest in. This fund quickly grew to manage billions of dollars within just a few years. Its success showed that there was interest from the public in this new way of investing. John Bogle, in his early career, focused on active management of funds. However, he always kept an eye on keeping fees low, which made his funds cheaper than others. As more research supported the idea of index funds, Bogle helped make these ideas more mainstream. In 1975, he launched an S&P 500 fund, arguing that it could give you better returns in the long run with lower costs compared to actively managed funds. John Bogle's concept of index investing draws a clear line between investment and speculation. Investment focuses on long-term returns with lower risk to capital, while speculation seeks short-term gains with higher risk. Investors prioritize the underlying business's stability, while speculators often focus solely on securities prices, influenced by emotions like hope, fear, and greed. Bogle consistently championed index funds over actively managed ones, arguing that actively managed funds rarely outperform low-cost index funds over the long term. He emphasized the importance of fees, pointing out that high fees erode returns. Additionally, Bogle developed a straightforward method for forecasting long-term returns, factoring in dividend yield, earnings growth, market valuation, and inflation. Recognizing the significance of overall market valuation, Bogle advocated for strategic asset allocation. He suggested a minimum 20% allocation to bonds to reduce portfolio volatility, with adjustments based on market conditions and age. During the late 1990s dot-com bubble, Bogle correctly predicted poor stock returns and shifted his portfolio to bonds, expecting superior performance over the next decade, where Bogle's principles of investing. John Bogle advocated for a straightforward and sensible approach to investing. He outlined 8 basic rules for investors. Select low-cost funds. Carefully consider the added costs of advice. Avoid overrating past fund performance. Use past performance to assess consistency and risk. Be cautious of star mutual fund managers. Beware of asset size. Avoid owning too many funds. Buy your fund portfolio and hold on to it. Bogle's investment philosophy laid the groundwork for the Bogleheads Forum, which serves as a hub for investors adhering to his principles. Supported by the John C. Bogle Center for Financial Literacy, the forum hosts national conferences and fosters discussions on investing strategies. Members of the group have collaborated on books expanding upon Bogle's teachings. In his later years, Bogle expressed concerns about the potential consequences of passive indexing's popularity. He feared that it could lead to a concentration of corporate voting power among leaders of the largest investment firms, including Vanguard, BlackRock, and State Street. Bogle believed that such a concentration would not serve the national interest. John Bogle attended his wife's Presbyterian church while maintaining his faith as an Episcopalian. At the age of 31, Bogle experienced his first of several heart attacks. By age 38, he was diagnosed with the rare heart disease, arrhythmogenic right ventricular dysplasia. In 1996, at the age of 66, Bogle underwent a successful heart transplant. Throughout his life, Bogle received honorary doctorates from Princeton University in 2005 and Villanova University in 2011. He served on the Board of Trustees of the National Constitution Center in Philadelphia, where he previously held the position of chairman from 1999 to 2007. Politically, Bogle identified as a Republican, specifically a Teddy Roosevelt Republican, although he supported Democratic candidates such as Bill Clinton, Barack Obama in 2008 and 2012, and Hillary Clinton in 2016. He advocated for tighter regulations in the financial sector, supporting measures like the Volcker Rule and stricter rules on money market funds. Bogle believed that the U.S. financial system had become unbalanced and called for reforms including taxes to discourage short-term speculation, transparency for financial derivatives, and a unified fiduciary standard for all money managers. He expressed concerns about President Donald Trump's policies, believing they were beneficial for the market in the short term, but detrimental to society in the long term. John Bogle passed away on January 16, 2019, at his home in Bryn Mawr, Pennsylvania. Following his death, Warren Buffett praised Bogle's contribution to helping individual investors navigate the investment landscape, stating that Bogle did more for American investors than any individual Buffett had known. Bogle's impact was also acknowledged in Berkshire Hathaway's 2016 annual shareholder letter for his role in shaping the investment landscape. During his high-earning years at Vanguard, John Bogle consistently donated half of his salary to various charitable causes, including Blair Academy and Princeton University. In 2016, his son, John C. Bogle Jr., established the Bogle Fellowship at Princeton University, sponsoring 21st-year students in each class. In 1991, Bogle founded the Armstrong Foundation, which aimed to give back to the institutions that had supported him throughout his life. This included the schools that had granted him scholarships, the hospitals that had treated his heart condition, his church, and the United Way. Awards and honors recognize Bogle's significant contributions to finance and philanthropy. Fortune magazine named him one of the investment industry's giants of 20th century in 1999. He received the Woodrow Wilson Award from Princeton University in 1999 for distinguished achievement in national service. Time magazine listed him as one of the world's 100 most powerful and influential people in 2004. Bogle was honored with Institutional Investors Lifetime Achievement Award in 2004. He was elected to the American Philosophical Society in 2004. John C. Bogle, often referred to as the father of index investing, revolutionized the world of finance with his visionary approach to investing. As the founder of the Vanguard Group, he pioneered the concept of low-cost index funds, democratizing access to diversified investment portfolios for millions of investors worldwide. Bogle's legacy is characterized by his unwavering commitment to the principles of simplicity, transparency, and integrity in investing. He advocated tirelessly for the interests of individual investors, challenging the prevailing norms of the financial industry and advocating for a fiduciary duty to always put clients' interests first. Bogle's impact extends far beyond the realm of finance. His advocacy for investor rights and his dedication to promoting long-term, sustainable investment practices have left an indelible mark on the investment landscape, earning him widespread recognition as one of the most influential figures in modern finance.